Hello guys, my name is Preeti Chaudhary and I'm going to cover the topic shareholders activism in corporate governance. We'll understand what is corporate governance and shareholders activism and how does shareholders activism takes place in corporate governance. As it is rightly said that you should feel empowered to put forward ideas around education and refreshment. That infrastructure is going to help facilitate some of the changes that we are looking for. Likewise, we'll see the factors of shareholders' activism that impact the changes for good corporate governance policies. Now we'll understand what is corporate governance. Corporate governance is a mutually accepted set of practices and principles for running successful corporations. It is said as the cornerstone of the modern market-oriented economy. While corporations must comply with federal, state, and local regulations, best practices for corporate governance are largely self-regulatory. Best practices are based on the belief that corporations will be practical and thoughtful in their decisions. And the corporations that abide by best practices for good corporate governance are less likely to experience the risk of shareholders' activism. We can think of the case of Iceland, where according to Gylfi Joga, a professor of economics at University of Iceland, the country had a complete infrastructure of a modern society with good education and clean air. The disastrous effect of poor corporate governance were to the environment and then to the economy. They began with the entry of multinational corporations into Iceland economy, and the Iceland economy put its three largest banks in the hands of private investors when the crisis begins. Thus, the good corporate governance is very essential in today's world. It promotes the efficient use of scarce resources, it promotes the trust of investors, and also it has a positive link to economic development and good corporate performance. Also, the funds of the company will flow to entities which are seen to have internationally accepted standard of corporate governance, and it also supplements the legal framework. Moving on to the next slide, we'll understand what is shareholders activism. It is a way that shareholders can influence a corporation's behavior by exercising their rights as partial owners. It drives better corporate governance because it ensures strong governance and approaches to investment styles for shareholders. We'll understand the reason why shareholders activism happens. Ultimately, board directors, managers, and shareholders all want the same thing, and that we agree that everyone wants to enjoy the long-term success of the company. Activism happens in this case when they don't agree on the structure that they believe will lead to the best outcome. We can see some of the points listed on why shareholders activism happens. The main reasons are minority shareholders are not protected, agency problems and moral hazard of management, weak enforcement of laws and regulations, market monitoring function is weak, government cannot do everything, poor corporate governance practices. This is an important point because when there is poor corporate governance practices, the shareholders activism is about to take place, which destroy the overall functioning of the company. When there is no transparency and accountability in the company, the shareholders activism is also about to take place. If there is a poor corporate governance practices in the company, it also creates corruptions. We'll now look at how the principal-agent relationship leads to shareholders activism. What is a principal-agent relationship? It is a relationship formed when a principal hires an agent to do a particular task or service. And the agent's relationship is based on trust, loyalty that it has with principal. We will forward look to the following sections that affect the principal-agent relationship, where it gives a rise to shareholders activism. The first is shareholders and managers relationship. In this, the traditional theory, it was like the managers were supposed to think in the best interest of the shareholders. But later on, when the behavior is like when the business is at risk and the managers are more risk averse, so they can better protect their employment status. In such a case, there is like such information asymmetry is there, where only managers are able to access the information whereas shareholders are not a part of the information. And this makes it easier for managers to make strategic decisions that are not in the best interest of the shareholders. And thus the shareholders activism arises. There is also a controlling and minority shareholder relationship where the controlling shareholders have the direct influence on the board of directors election, leaving minority shareholders with much less representation on the board. That is, it has a straight voting power. Along with that, the conflict is also created between the managers and the board shareholders, the shareholders and the creditors, and also the other stakeholders. Other stakeholders conflict may be between customers and shareholders, conflict between customers and suppliers, or conflict between shareholders or regulators. Moving on to this diagram, the significance of shareholders' activism within the overall process of corporate governance reform can be summarized in this figure. For this reason, encouraging shareholders monitoring has been recommended as the important goal for corporate governance reform. International organizations such as Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development have helped developing and transition countries increasingly with the design and implementation of shareholders empowerment programs. To take an example of a recent reform is an Asian developing country. The Malaysian government amended the Securities Commission Act in April 2000, allowing shareholders to pursue civil actions against companies, directors, and their advisors. Similarly, in European transition economies, recent legal reforms have concentrated on investor protections and empowerment. So, overall, this shareholders' activism has brought a great change for a good corporate governance. It impacted a lot to the economy as well as the company. When we talk about corporate governance, we often think about in the terms of corporate leadership or its benefits to the company. But it's really about much more than that. True corporate governance benefits all stakeholders and it benefits them from both the short and long term. This approach is the stakeholder theory of corporate governance. We'll see the example of Airbnb. It stands out as a company that takes distinct action steps to put the stakeholder theory of governance into action in their quest for refreshing corporate governance. Earlier, the theory was to just look at the best interest of the shareholders, but now the people are focusing more on of all stakeholders' benefits. Airbnb long held aspirations of being a modern company. The corporate leaders boldly envisioned being one of the first of the true 21st century companies. Their vision includes having aspirations of a company that would benefit all of their stakeholders over the long term. They believe that building a successful, sustainable business also requires making a positive, notable contribution to our overall society. The leaders believe it so strongly that they declared their vision publicly in 2018. They noted that since they were early in this work, it was a prime time to share it with the world. Their plan to benefit all stakeholders can be broken down into the following 5 parts, which is listed in this video. That is, identify our stakeholders, establish principles and metrics for serving our stakeholders, update our corporate governance and compensation policies, report on our progress, share our success. The leaders at Airbnb acknowledge that they are venturing out with a new way of thinking about and refreshing corporate governance. They also acknowledge that it's not perfect and that it continues to be a work in progress. Airbnb stands as a prime example of a company that is paving its own way in the corporate world to ensure modern governance and a focus on all stakeholders. Thus, corporations that abide by best practices for good corporate governance are less likely to experience the risk of shareholders' activism. So, the best practices for good corporate governance support the notion of separating ownership and control of corporation to ensure the interest of the investors over the long term. To fulfill their responsibilities dutifully, board directors must focus the bulk of their meeting time on strategic planning and oversight. A board portal and other digital software solutions such as Governance Cloud by Diligent streamline and enhance many of the vitally important broad activities such as DNO questionnaires, broad self-evaluations, and minute software. With the pressure that today's boards are facing, board efficiency is vital to good governance and improved performance. Thank you so much.